Imagine having an employee who works for your company 24/7 without asking for extra salary, without asking for bonuses and commissions. Would you like to have an employee like this? Why wouldn't you? And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can have an employee like this by setting up an AI voice agent, which will work 24/7 without asking for extra salaries, bonuses, and commission. And you don't need to learn any code for this. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process on how you can set up AI voice agent for your own company without needing to learn anything to code. If you want to learn, make sure to watch the complete video and subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about AI automation. So in this video, I'll show you how you can set up AI voice agent using VAPI AI. So without further ado, let's sign up for that and see how that works. I'm going to click on sign up and use my Gmail email to sign up. So here's the sign up screen. Let's click on Google and it's gonna redirect it to OAuth. I'm gonna click on my email and then click continue. And here it's gonna ask a bunch of questions, which I am going to click select and then click on next to create our VAPI account. I'm also going to show you guys how you can transfer the data to N8N. So if you want to transfer this call to any human, or if you want to create any further tools using N8N, how you can do that as well. So guys, when you sign up, this is the type of dashboard which you will see. I also did some test calls in order to test it, and I'm going to show you how you can do that on your side as well. It shows you the complete report of how many calls this agent make and what's the average duration and what is the cost, what is the average cost and call success rate. And you get 10 free credits when you sign up using your Gmail. You can see I just made few calls and it reduced like 8 credits, and we have 9.92 credits left. So we can do a fair amount of testing when we are creating our AI voice agent. And here we have some tabs, which I'm going to go through with you guys. So first is the assistant, which comes with the default assistant. Riley is the name of that assistant. And here you can see the cost per minute. So it's 0.15 cent per minute. That's insanely cheap. If you ever hire a real human voice agent, it's going to cost you way more higher. And here we have latency, meaning that how much is going to pause when someone talks to this agent. And here we have details about which model it is using. So it is currently using OpenAI, and here we have different models to choose from. We can use any different model based on how well we need to perform with our AI agent. Here you can see that we have millisecond latency showing up and 0.08, which is the per minute cost of that model. So GPT 5.1 is 0.08, GPT 5.1 is 0.08, and GPT 5 0.08, and the mini model is the cheapest one. We can test it out with GPT 4.1 mini, which is the most cheapest balanced mini, right? And here we have different providers as well. So if you want to choose Azure, Anthropic, Google, any other LLM, you can choose it from here, and the models will also be showing up here, right? So we're gonna go with OpenAI first and select GPT 4.1 mini to see what is the result which we will get. We will also be doing some testing here. When we click on talk to assistant, we can actually talk to our assistant. Here we have first message mode, meaning if you want to set it up as an outbound or inbound. So outbound meaning you are calling someone and agent will be the first to speak. And so you can check option here, assistant speaks first, and you can also make it wait for the user, or you can make it assistant speak first with model generated message. If you select this, it is going to have this message, similar message, not the exactly same message. Obviously, you can change that as well. You can see it here that the first message that the assistant will say, this can be also be a URL to containerized audio file. So we can also upload an audio file and add in the URL of that audio file. So we can also add our own voice as a first message. And that's the system prompt, where we define identity and purpose of our AI voice agent. This is for voice and persona. This is for speech characteristics, conversation flow. So all of the details are mentioned within the prompt, and you can see here start with as well mentioned here. Thank you for calling Wellness Partners. This is Riley. So it's basically a wellness partner AI agent, which is ready made available in our VAPI AI account, which we can play with, which we can change. So it's that simple. They have pretty much added everything on their own with all of the details. Now, when you set up your first AI agent, it's not going to be perfect at the first time. You'll have to listen some call logs. You have to watch out how it is performing, and based on that, you have to keep improving the prompt, how it is actually behaving and how it is actually giving you better results. So you'll have to keep improving the prompt, keep improving the data as well. And other than the prompt, if we scroll down, we have some more details. So this is the files. So we can add our custom file if you want to give it a custom knowledge like FAQ or refunds and terms and condition, whatever you want to add in, you can click here and upload that file. This is the max tokens, meaning that the maximum number of tokens that assistant will be allowed to generate in each turn of the conversation, meaning whenever it starts a conversation and whenever it's responding to the conversation, it is going to consume this amount of tokens. And temperature is that if you want to be it more specific or if you want it to be more random outputs, the more you increase it, the more it's going to be random. The more you decrease it, it's going to be more specific. And now if we scroll down, we have this voice configuration where if you want to select a different provider, if you want to select different voice, you have different voice options here. You can simply go to any of the voice and see which one suits you most. Or if you want to select a different provider, like 11 Labs is the most famous one, you can simply go to 11 Labs website and listen to that voice and change the voice. Now here we have some additional configuration. If you want to add a background sound URL, punctuation boundaries, and if we scroll down here, we have transcriber. So what this voice AI agent is basically doing is listening to our voice and converting that into text format and giving it to LLM, and then LLM responds back with the text and then it transcribe it back from text to voice. So that's how it's basically functioning. And in the transcriber, it has different providers like DeepGram is and 11 Labs, again the most famous one. And if you want to set that up in Hindi or Urdu, which is Urdu is my national language, I'm from Pakistan, and if you want to set up in Hindi, you can do that as well. So the code for Hindi and Urdu is basically same. When you speak it, it's different in writing, but when you speak it, it's the same. So you will simply go to HI, and here you can see that you have Hindi language option as well. If you want to see different languages, you can simply go to DeepGram documentation, DeepGram language codes, and here you will find different language support. So here you can see we have different languages on different models. So if we go to Nova 2, here are the languages which it supports: Bulgarian, Chinese, Danish, Dutch, English, and here we have Hindi as well, which you can see HI. So if you have a restaurant in Pakistan or India, you can simply create a voice agent to receive the orders, and you don't have to hire a full-time employee. Or if you would need a 24/7 operation, you will need to hire at least 3 employees, 8 hours a shift if you call it that way. So it's going to be really cheap if you set that up. Even if you talk about hiring an employee in Pakistan, it's still the cheaper method. I don't know what's going to happen with the jobs of the receptionist, but that's what it is if when you set up AI voice agents, right? Here we have tools. So you can add different tools, like you want to connect it to make.com or go high level workflows or any other tools which you want to connect it with. You can do that as well. Again, I'm going to show you guys how you can set up your own AI voice agent from the scratch. I'm currently walking you through how it is, and then we will also connect it with N8N, which is an open source tool for creating AI agents. And I've created a detailed tutorial on how you can build your own AI agents completely for free. Link in the description. You can learn from this tutorial if you don't know anything about N8N. And in tools, I'm also going to show you guys how you can set up a calendar tool, and basically that assistant will book an appointment for us and it will add that appointment in Google Calendar. So I'll show you guys that as well in this video. Here we have predefined functions, meaning we want to authorize our AI agent to end the call. So meaning if there is nothing to speak, voice AI agent can simply end the call. And here is the dial pad option if we want to give it to our AI voice AI agent. And if it wants to forward the number, we will simply add in the forwarding number and it will automatically forward the calls to a real human or to another dedicated AI agent if you want to create that as well. Here we have the analysis, where it will, whenever our AI voice agent will end the call, it will create the summary and call analysis, and it will have it saved in our VAPI AI dashboard. This is for the privacy purposes, and I think that's it for this settings. I wanted to set it up as a beginner level tutorial, so that's all you want to know when you are creating your first AI agent. Again, there are a lot in this, and you will learn as you keep iterating your AI voice agent. It's not something which you will set it up at once and you will not be improving. You will have to keep improving based on the data which you will receive on the dashboard about the success rate, about the call it's making, about the call logs, all that kind of stuff. Now let's start creating our AI assistant, which will be for my company, and it will tell the terms and conditions to the caller. And I'm also going to do a mock call and show you guys how it is going to behave and function. Okay guys, so let's create a new assistant. And here we have the option to choose template. We can start with the blank template, or we can simply select on customer support specialist. I'm going to select customer support specialist, which will help me with the refund policy of my website. So let's click on customer support specialist and then click on create assistant. So the name of the assistant is Alex. We can leave it as it is. And for the model, I'm going to select GPT 4.1. And here the first message node is the same. Assistant will speak first. And for this first message, I'm going to rename it to WebSense Pro. And I'm going to let my assistant go through this refund policy. So if someone is trying to make a buying decision before buying like web design services or web development services and want to learn about refund policy, it is going to tell about the refund policy as per this PDF. I have created a PDF as per this live refund policy from our website. So I'm going to simply upload that, and to create a prompt, which will go here. So the system prompt, I have used Grok free version. You can use ChatGPT or any other LLM. So I've basically told Grok that I'm building an AI voice agent who tell about refund policy, and then attach is the PDF. So it's a pretty basic message which I have sent to Grok in order to create me a prompt, and that's the prompt which I have, right? It's a pretty detailed prompt which I'm gonna simply copy and paste to our VAPI. So let's copy and paste to our system prompt and scroll down. And here for knowledge base, I'm gonna click on select files and then upload the PDF which I have created. So I'm going to simply upload the PDF file here. There you go. You can see that we have the file uploaded successfully. Simply select this check mark item. And for temperature, again, I've already told you what the temperature is. You can change the details based on that. I'm going to leave the default settings as it is and then click on publish. And now it is telling you what are the changes you made in prompt. So you can see the changes which we created in the prompt. Click on next. And here it is asking for the structured output, meaning if your assistant is taking call, after completing the call, what should the output look like? And here it automatically created some suggestion. Now you can see that it's giving us issue resolve. So we're going to select that one and click on create structured output. And you can see that we have this structured output created, meaning if the issue is resolved, it's going to set this to true, right? So let's click on next. And here we have this scorecard. So I'm going to click on create new scorecard. And if the issue resolved, structured output is completed. If it's set to true, meaning it's going to give this agent some points so we can improve based on the scorecard, right? So if issue resolved is true, it is going to give 50 points to this scorecard. Click on publish after saving the configuration, obviously. So click on save configuration and then click publish. Okay, it is now ready to be tested. So it is super simple to test our AI voice agent. You can see that we can chat with it as well, but we're gonna test it with talk to assistant. So if we click on talk to assistant, it's gonna open up a pop-up and we will do some testing with our new voice agent which we created. So let's click on talk to assistant.
Hi there, this is Alex from WebSense Pro customer support. How can I help you today?
Hi Alex, how are you?
Hello, thank you for asking. I'm doing well. and I'm here to help guide you through any questions you have. May I know your name and what you'd like to discuss today, especially regarding our refund or policies?
My name is Bilal, and I am trying to make a purchase decision and just trying to understand what could be the refund policy of if I'm trying to buying the web design services.
Thank you for sharing that, Bilal. I hear you're interested in understanding our refund policy before making a purchase. That's a smart move, and I completely understand. Could you tell me a bit more about what aspect of the refund policy you're curious about? For example, are you wondering about getting a refund before any work starts? What happens if you decide to cancel, or how payments are handled? Let me know and I'll walk you through the specific details step by step.
How do I submit a complaint?
Great question, Bilal. If you'd like to submit a complaint, you just need to send an email to support@websensepro.com or use our website contact form. Please include your full name, any order or project reference number, a description of the issue, and any supporting documents or screenshots if you have them. Once we receive your complaint, we'll acknowledge it within 2 business days and aim to resolve it within 10 to 14 business days. Does that answer your question, or would you like me to go over any part of the process again?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for helping me out.
You're very welcome, Bilal. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great day, and best of luck with your decision.
Great. Now we have successfully created our first AI voice assistant. Now, let me tell you, this is not going to work at the first attempt. You will have to do a multiple test calls. And in order to see how it is performing, you can check out the call logs. So if I click on these 3 small dots here, so just right on the right hand side of the publish button, we have these 3 small dots. If you click on these 3 small dots, you will find the call logs. And here you can see all of the calls which we had with our assistant which we created. And this is the call which successfully resolved the issues. And you can see that it updated the scorecard and passed the point. Now the score for this call is 100, and this one got failed because I just started the call and ended that call. You can also see the cost of that call, duration of that call. And if I click on that, we can see the complete transcript. And here we have the recording available as well, so we can listen to that. So here are the complete details of our agent talking to a human, right? And this is the query. So this is the PDF which we provided to our AI agent. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can connect Google Calendar. So tools is a really important part of creating AI agent, especially voice AI assistant. So let's say we got a call from an angry customer and he's not happy with the customer support and he's not even getting a response from the email. So he just wants to talk to someone senior and want to book an appointment. This voice AI assistant will check the calendar availability and also book an appointment on that calendar which is connected to that assistant. And let me show you how you can do that. So that is our assistant, and we are going to give it tools of the calendar. So it reads the calendar and book an appointment if there is an availability, right? So click on tools, and here you can see that we have this create tool option. Click on create tool. And if you scroll down here, you can see that we have this Google Calendar option. We have other tools as well, like Google Sheet, Slack, MCP is like Model Context Protocol. If you connect an MCP, this is an API request. Like if you want to send the data to N8N, or these are some custom tool which we can define. But now we're going to give it the tool of Google Calendar to first check the availability. So you can see that we have this tool created. I'm going to name it check availability. And let's in the description say this is a tool to check Google Calendar availability, right? Calendar ID, leave it as it is for now. For the time zone, I'm gonna just add America, New York for now. You can add your own time zone. Because make sure to add the same time zone which you have it on your calendar as well. Perfect. Once you have this tool created, click on save. And this is for checking the availability, meaning our AI assistant will check if there is an availability for that specific slot. I'm going to create another tool to make an appointment, which will be create event from Google Calendar. So click on create tool, go to Google Calendar, and then click on create event, right? So I'm gonna click here and then simply name it create event. Perfect. And description will be this tool is to create event in Google Calendar. Again, let's add in the same time zone and then click on save. Perfect. We have our tool defined. Now we will connect our Google Calendar. So for that, click on more. And here we have the option of integrations. So whatever tools you want to connect in, you will be connecting it with the VAPI dashboard, right? And here we have these different tools. We have OpenAI. So if you want to add an OpenAI API key and not charge for the OpenAI from VAPI, you can directly add in your API key and you will be charged from OpenAI API key. And there are some other tools and LLM models and a lot of different things. We are searching for Google. So let's search for Google Calendar. Here it is, Google Calendar. Click on connect. It's going to show you a pop-up. Click on connect. Click on the email which you want to connect the WebP with. Click on select all because we want to give access to Google Calendar to WebP. Click on continue. And our Google Calendar is now integrated. Perfect. Let's open up the calendar as well so we can see if our AI agent is actually creating an event in our calendar or not. Perfect. Once our Google Calendar is connected in integrations, we're going to go to our assistants pack again, and the Alex, the assistant which we are connecting the tools from. Here you scroll down and you will see an option of tools, and we need to tell it which tools you can use. So here we're going to click on create event and check availability. Perfect. And I've also improved the prompt. So I have basically went to Grok and given him instruction that if there's a customer who is angry, you are supposed to create an event and book an appointment to the senior manager, right? So I'm going to copy this prompt here and then paste the prompt with the updated instruction, where you can see it has defined conversation flow. That's the start with a greet. So here you can see that if the customer expresses unhappiness, dissatisfaction, frustration with the policy, empathically acknowledge, I completely understand that it might not be what you're looking for, availability, and it is going to basically access these tools. Right? Again, you will need to improve the prompt based on the call logs. So make sure to keep an eye on the call log and improve the prompt and improve the tools as per the need, right? So let's publish it and test it out to see if it is creating event in our calendar or not. I'm going to click on skip and publish here. Okay, now let's test it out. I'm going to click on talk to assistant and going to pretend that I'm really angry.
Hi there, this is Alex from WebSense Pro Customer Support. How can I help you today?
Hi Alex, I'm really frustrated. No one is responding to me. I want to talk to someone senior and please book an appointment for me for tomorrow 9 a.m. EST. I just want to talk to someone senior.
I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. I completely understand how frustrating it must be not to get a response, and I'm here to help guide you through this. There is a slot available tomorrow at 9 a.m. EST to speak with a senior manager. Before I book this appointment, may I please have your full name, email address, phone number, and a brief description of the concern you'd like to discuss. This helps us make sure the right person can assist you.
My name is Bilal. My email is 123@gmail.com. My phone is 12345, and no one is responding me. That's my concern.
Thank you, Bilal. Your appointment with a senior manager is booked for tomorrow, June 13th at 9 a.m. EST. You'll receive an email confirmation at 123@gmail.com. I've noted your main concern that no one is responding to you, so our manager will be prepared to address it. If you need any changes or further...
Okay guys, so I ended my call and open up the call logs to show you guys the logs, and here you can see that it first checked the availability in the calendar from this tool, and then it created this event, meaning it created an appointment in Google Calendar. And here is the link for that. And if I open up that in a new tab, you can see that it created an appointment, but the date is not up to date. So in order to overcome this issue, what you can do is you can add in the system prompt the dynamic date, so it always get the dynamic date. So I'm going to go to my assistant, and then in the system prompt, at the end of the prompt, you can simply add in this line, which says the current date and time is now. So it's a JavaScript variable which will tell what is the date in that as the time zone. You can generate this code based on from ChatGPT or from any LLM. You can basically say to generate the dynamic code, and it will give you, or I'm also going to add this in the video description, so you can simply copy and paste this. Right now, I'm going to show you how you can connect N8N with the VAPI. So if you want to have an end of summary call to N8N and you want to send it to some different tool or some different software, you can do that as well really easily. So here I have N8N blank workflow open, and all I have to do is just click on plus sign here and then search for Webhook. I'm going to add in the Webhook here, and from this method, click on post. Make sure to select the post method always, and this is the test URL. If you have your workflow active, make sure to switch to the production URL. For now, I'm going to test it with the test URL. So I'm going to copy this test URL, and in my assistant, I'm going to click on advanced, and advanced, I am going to scroll down to messaging, and in messaging, I'm going to add in the server URL, and that's where I need to add in the webhook URL, which I have generated, right? And once you do that and scroll down, you can see that these are the server messages which are going to be sent to the server URL which we have configured, right? And it is going to send all of that details here. I'm going to select just the end of call. So unselect all of that and select end of call. Here it is, end of call report. And these are all of the other options which we can send to this server URL as well. Model output, phone call control, speech update, status update, transcript, all of these other information which we can send to N8N as well. For now, I'm going to select end of call report and then click on publish. Click on skip and publish here. And then click on talk to assistant and then end the call.
Alex from Websense Pro Customer Support. How can I help you today?
Click on listen for test event before ending the call. And once done, I'm going to hit end call here. And then go back to the N8N. And you can see that I have all of the data showing up here. Okay, so I'm assuming you have all of the stuff ready for your voice agent, and you have done the iterations, you have improved the prompt, and now it is ready to be deployed. Now, in order to deploy it to the real phone number, what you will need to do is go to VAPI dashboard, click on phone numbers, and here you will have the option to create a phone number where your assistant will be connected. So if you call that phone number, your assistant will pick up the phone, right? So click on create phone number. And here you can see that you will get free 10 phone numbers per account, the US phone number. So all you have to do is just add in your area code and it will be directly connected. Now I'm just going to add an area code, click on create, and here you go. You can see that it is ready, activating in 2 minutes. And all I have to do is just scroll down and select the assistant which we need to connect it with. So I'm going to select the Alex which we created, and when someone calls on this number, our assistant will be activated. So that was the beginner level tutorial on how you can create voice AI assistant. It was a complete beginner level tutorial. Let me know in the comments below if you had any confusion or if you want me to create a follow-up video on certain aspects. Would love to create one. That's it for this video. Until next video, have a great day.